Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in here to SummitCitySports.com. We're in week number 6 for the Fort Wayne High School Hockey Association. And to get things kicked off here for our pre-Thanksgiving game, it is going to be the top 2 teams in the league right now, the Homestead Spartans and the Fort Wayne Vipers. Take a quick look at our standings. Homestead still perfect, coming off their 9-2 victory last week over the Leo Lions, as the Homestead Spartans are 5 wins and no losses for 10 points. And the Fort Wayne Vipers are 4-0-1 as they improved their record with their 5-1 win over Carroll last week. They have 9 points. We'll take a look at the team comparison, a brand new feature here on the Hockey broadcast for Summit City. As you can see, actually, as I correct this here, goals for is going to be very high for both teams as they are leading the way in the scoring department. 24 goals for the Fort Wayne Vipers and 34 goals scored for the Homestead Spartans, and they're both very good defensive teams as the Spartans have only allowed 15 goals against, and the Vipers, they haven't even touched double digits yet, and we're already in week number 6. They only have 8 goals scored against them. So, in our pregame thing, it is also youth hockey night here, so between the intermissions of both games, we'll be bringing you a little bit of a shootout action as the travel teams will be here doing a little bit of a shootout there in the intermissions, so we'll make sure to give you that coverage. Joining me up in the loft booth area is, again, former Summit City Panther, Joe Hacker. Joe, thank you for coming out again.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for letting me be here.
So, what's your take so far as to what you've seen from last time you were here on opening night to where we stand now 6 weeks coming into the season?
Well, I think Homestead obviously is just so skilled, as we've seen the last couple of years here, a very similar team. I mean, they're just so physical, so deep. They really can beat you in a bunch of different ways, and they can score in a bunch of different ways with 10 more goals than the next team in the city. So, I mean, that just speaks for itself. As for the Vipers, they're still just rolling along. They took a tough loss to Homestead last time around, a close one down to the last second. But I think they'll bounce back. They got a lot of big team wins, and they're learning how to lose early, which is only going to, I think, benefit them down the road, getting a little more experience, going through a little bit of adversity.
Yeah, that's one thing you need to really work on when you're kind of a brand new team in existence. Rather, this is a combination of 3 separate teams, so the players are there, but you got to learn to, as you said, win games together, but also take that adversity into effect. So, as I said, it is the Homestead Spartans and the Fort Wayne Vipers, our first game of the night. Obviously going to be a highly anticipated close-scoring game because I don't expect these teams to differ much from their last play, where I believe it was Homestead who won 3-2 in overtime. Up next is the Carroll Chargers and the Leo Lions, and from when we've played back in high school hockey, they're on a bit of a downward turn, kind of entering a rebuilding phase, as Carroll's only won 1 game, and that's not very like them as they've in recent years. Leo with no wins on the season, and obviously Leo is looking for someone to be a production in goal departments. They only have 8 goals for. Carroll, on the other hand, they have scoring, but they've have some defensive struggles as well, allowing 29 goals against. So that game in the second half is going to be one that is going to be designed to give both teams an idea of how they're going to try to turn this around.
Yeah, it's certainly more of an even game going up against someone who's probably a little more on your level, whereas these 2 teams here right now are 2 top-level teams, and like you said, Carroll and Leo are just kind of going through a rebuilding kind of phase. No, not a really high amount of senior leadership on either of those teams right now, and like you've been alluding to, just goal scoring is not there, and it's hard for them to stop some goals too. So I think those are the 2 biggest things, and obviously if you don't have those going for you, it's going to be tough to win.
Yep. So as I said, Homestead Vipers up first. As I said, I could highly anticipate this game to be a very close-scoring game as last week. So this will be kind of like the differential between the 2 teams. Obviously, both teams are wanting to win. Homestead, with their win, will extend to a 3-point lead on the Vipers. They would have 12 points if they win. However, if the Vipers win, they will go to 11 points and overtake Homestead. But here's the kicker. If it goes to overtime and the Vipers win in overtime, they will actually go to a tie for first place, and then it'll go down to the goal for differential. So unless the Vipers can win this game 11-10, Homestead's still going to have the first place due to them being such a highly goal-scoring team.
Yeah, really. I mean, you've been talking about the points, and these are going to be so huge down the line. I mean, I think everyone knows. I mean, just even looking at the standings right now, these are going to be the two teams that are really battling out the whole year. I mean, these are games that you definitely want to win, not only to kind of a rivalry sense, but also so you can have that higher seed going into the playoffs, have last change, just the benefits that come with that. Certainly going to be a close game tonight. I would expect pretty low scoring like the last one. I mean, both these teams are definitely going to bring their best efforts tonight and lay it all on the line.
We will take a quick break. When we come back, we will get to the goaltending tandems right here on Summit City Sports. But right now, it is teams lining up for our national anthem. We'll be right back here on SummitCitySports.com.
There are many young children in attendance. Let's keep our sport an enjoyable experience for everyone. At this time, we would ask that you rise for the playing of our national anthem.
And so we are back here at the Parkview Sport One Ice House for week 6 here of the Fort Wayne High School Hockey Association. You might notice one bit of a difference is we are actually going to be running a 4-ref system as compared to the normal 3, so a little more eyes on the ice. We'll take a quick look at our starting goaltenders. First up for the Fort Wayne Vipers. Starting goal is going to be the senior on the team, Connor McKinnon, one of your teammates from Summit City, really good goaltender. 2 wins on the season, 1.99 goals against average, and a .905 save percentage. And then goal down for the Homestead Spartans is going to be number 41, Lane Copeland. 2 wins on the season, a 2.52 goals against average, and a .824 save percentage. So a numbers standpoint, you would think Connor McKinnon would have the advantage over the goaltending duos, but with hockey, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, just because the numbers, that doesn't mean anything, as we all know. I mean, Connor's certainly a great goaltender, and Lane is making strides in his own right, so should be an interesting one here tonight. I mean, Connor, obviously, in my opinion, a little biased, but one of the best goaltenders in the state. And, you know, I mean, I think that's just a huge advantage, knowing that defensively, if they play a little more leaky, then they have that ability there. Goaltender's just going to make a big save for them when sometimes that might not happen. But all in all, I mean, a solid goaltending matchup, so we'll have to see how it goes.
And so puck is dropped here for week 6 between the top 2 teams, and it is in the neutral zone. Delayed offsides now for the Vipers. They will whistle it down for the offside 7 seconds into the game. Real quick, though, of course, as you know, today's broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260 Sports. That is 260 Sports. Like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And now it is off the draw. It's going to be down into the near side boards of the Spartan end, kept in the zone by Zemansky as he just kept it over the line. Now an offsides play once again. And it looks like Knoblau a little unhappy on that one, feeling like he kept it over the line. But play will be whistled down. Face off in the neutral zone.
Yeah, the Vipers so far are looking like they're coming out hot pretty fast there. Did a great job keeping some pucks in the zone, keeping the pressure on Homestead.
Tie up on the draw, and it's going to be the Spartans actually coming away with it. Good stick lift there by Marks. And now it is going to be down into the near side. Now to the far corner for Knoblau to play. Up ice, looking for McKinley. He gets there, and now it's going to be put inside of the Spartan zone, where it'll eventually be played by Wilson. He gets it up to Keegan McComb. McComb strong on the play, gets it to McKinley behind the net. He's fighting off two of the Spartans at the same time. It's out to the point. Hayden Scott with it now. There's a shot. It goes wide. McKinley was looking for a tip out in front. As now poke check at the line, and here come the Spartans the other way. It is Dylan Marks into the zone. Marks cuts to the slot. Deeks, and a good save by McKinnon. Juarez and DeGroot tied up now into the corner. McKinley pulls it away, and Marks keeps it over the line if just for a brief second, as now it's back out in neutral zone and is put back in by the defenseman, number 5. That is Anthony Nicole. DeGroot and Bremer tying up behind the play. DeGroot will bang it off the glass, but it's kept alive at the point by Reichert. Wilson trying to get it out, and he's able to do so as now it's played by Nicole once again. Coming into the zone, Nicole with possession along the near side. That one's directed towards the net. DeGroot intercepts it before it got to McKinnon, and now it's in the far corner. Battling for the puck, looks like Jeanette and DeGroot. Coming away with it is going to be McKinley for the Vipers as it's wrapped around the boards to the near side. Coming into the zone is Kohlmeyer at the point, trying to get it down low. He kind of fans on it, and now it is the Spartans coming the other way. It's going to be Knoblau along the near side. He gave Scholler a stick lift, and now it's out to the point and out into the neutral zone. Knoblau with the play as it's directed into the Spartan, and Johnson playing it over to the far side boards. Here's Asiala. He sends it down the ice, looking for the icing. Icing will be waved off as Knoblau is able to get there first. Him and Scholler go down along the far corner. And there's going to be Jeanette playing it now for the Spartans. Out to Asiala. Shot tipped in front by Knoblau and wide. Along the near side boards, here is McNeil. McNeil to the face-off circle. That shot is wide, and it rolls out of the zone. Chasing the puck will be Reed Johnson. Johnson coming off a hat trick last week, finishing off in the last second, 0.5 of a second actually, as he got the hat trick last game against Leo. The late penalty coming up to the Vipers. They touch up, and it'll be a tripping call.
Fantastic pace of this game so far. Not a lot of whistles. I want to take it back on the replay here, though, to what we saw from Dylan Marks here on that little breakaway. Have to let the play develop a little bit, but why I wanted to come back to this is, give it a second, but when Marks is coming down the wall, Wilson, you'll see on the left side of your screen, has to cover for that defenseman pinching down. So now he's stuck trying to cover defensively, which is he's not used to doing. But
so now it's coming out of into the neutral zone. Homestead on the power play, their first one of the night. And it's inside of the zone. McNeil with possession. He cuts back, and he leaves it for Marks, but it rolls out of the zone. Sending up is going to be Marks. Stretch pass is going to be intercepted by Zemanski. Now played by Ramos. Hunter Ramos coming in the zone with speed. He is poke checked by Bushel and is going to be grabbed by Marks. Marks passes to Juarez. Shot. Beautiful save by McKinnon. Rebound, scores!
Take a look back at this play. Ramos I think they're on wrong, but Ramos blowing through the neutral zone just with so much speed. Hard for anyone to really compete with that. We're going to go ahead and cut this. But you saw Ramos there blowing through with so much speed, just opening up so many opportunities for his team. And Juarez just missing that open net there at first. but they ended up burying it, so no harm, no foul.
So it is 1-0 Homestead off the power play goal. We'll get the goal scorer here in a second. As now it's played by Doherty down low. He clears it to Hayden Scott in the neutral zone. Ramos is credited with the goal. As here's Besh. Centers it to Hartle, and it's broken up. Now it is sent down low, played by Knoblau. Up ice, looking for number 14 for the Vipers. That is Ian Scott. Knoblau has it, trying to get it to Hayden Scott, intercepted by Eisenbarger. Eisenbarger backhand, stick safe by McKinnon. McKinley bumped off the play by Roach, and now it's along the near side boards. Hayden Scott with it now for the Vipers. McKinley once again throws it to the far side corner as Ian Scott is ran into by, looked like Asiala. And here is Wilson. Wilson with a deke. It rolls on net. Copeland with the save. Play whistle down as that was shot into the net. No goal.
Yeah, we got some extracurriculars going on. Someone on Homestead just came back with a big cross check there. It looks like he might be sitting too. Wilson
like
there going and burying that one after the whistle. Obviously going to anger the Homestead guys. Roach a little bit of a temper there, making sure that that's not happening again, clearing them out, giving a couple cross checks. But this team's going to pay the price here with the power play for the Vipers.
Yep, it is Roach going to the box for roughing. So the Vipers will be on the power play for the first time tonight. Hunter Ramos with that power play goal. So the Vipers look to answer with one of their own. 9:54 remaining here in the first period. 1-0 Homestead. As the faceoff is won by Juarez. That one's banked off the glass out to the point. And Juarez trying to steal it. Delayed offsides for the Vipers. And that one's shot down the length of the rink by Doherty. Here is number 8 for the Vipers, Michael Bushel. And it's played up to Backstrom. Backstrom throws it to the corner. Good hit there by Juarez. Copeland leaves it behind the net for Doherty, and that one is shot down the ice once again. McKinnon with it now. Leaves it for Ormsby. And, excuse me, plays whistle down as McKinnon bumped the net off as he came back into his crease. So faceoff will stay down inside of the Fort Wayne Viper end.
Not a great start there for the Vipers on the power play, my bad. As they had to dump that puck in there. That's never what you want to do on the power play. They just have to go ahead and dump it right back out.
Yep. Entry is a key point for a power play when you're trying to get it back in the zone. Along the near side, Hayden Scott with it, going up that's up the far side. Stretch pass for Kuharski. He leaves it for McComb. Here's Keegan McComb. Hits the brakes about the half wall. And it's stolen by Nicole. Keegan McComb gets it and puts it down to the corner. And here's Kuharski. Kuharski sends it to DeGrood, and it is put wide of the net. Doherty able to clear it out as Kuharski was unable to glove it down along the glass. Hayden Scott now into the zone. Drop pass from McComb. McComb feigning on the shot, and now is loose just outside the crease, now to the corner, and it's cleared out once again by the Spartans.
Couple of much better entries there from the Vipers. McComb just kind of got caught a little too low there on that one to get off a quality shot and turned it right back over.
Stretch pass once again for Kuharski is completed. And now it's played by McComb. The Vipers playing a bit of a risk game with those stretch passes because those can eventually be turned over and odd man rush the other way. Here's Reisner trying to get Hayden Scott at the point. It's knocked away and played by Reisner as he once again looks to the point. And that one rolls out of the zone. Hayden Scott with it. Homestead returns to full strength. So the Vipers are 0 for 1 on the power play. Reisner pushes Ramos down to the ice. And coming away with it is going to be Zemansky into the zone. Zemansky drop pass to number 9. That is Trevor McKinnon. And that one's directed back outside the zone. As the Vipers are having a little bit of difficulty trying to connect these point passes as they keep rolling over the sticks and out of the zone.
Yeah, they certainly have the right idea trying to move the puck up high. It's just not connecting for them right now, like you said.
Bushel back over to Zemansky, co-captain of the Vipers, him and Hayden Scott. As now it is directed by Trevor McKinnon along the near side. He drops it down to the corner for Zemansky. Zemansky tied up now behind the net. Reeser centers it. Here is another shot by McKinnon, and it goes wide. Copeland, I don't think, really saw it as he did not react to the shot at all. And now here comes the Spartans the other way. Ramos with possession. He comes into the zone. Drop pass from McNeil, and that one shot wide. Here's Ramos. Ramos, cross-ice pass, and now a shot, save, rebound, scores! It is Ramos once again.
Homestead weathering a bit of an early storm here and capitalizing on the opportunities they get, that is for sure. Probably don't have many more than 2 shots on goal that they have actually put in the net. You see here, though, just working the puck around and using the opposite side of the ice, just cross-crease pass there. Ended up finishing it off there was Ramos for his second of the game.
I believe that initial shot from the cross-crease pass came from number 76 of the Spartans. That was Drew Brimmer, so I believe he'll get the primary assist on that, as it is 2-0 Spartans. So Homestead obviously showing, like we mentioned in the pregame, they are showing why they are the top scoring team in the city right now.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I mean, it's just capitalizing on their chances, doing the little things right once they get the puck in the zone.
Now it's down low for DeGroot to play to the far side. He banks it off the boards up to McKinley, and it is out of the zone. Here come the Vipers, 2-on-1 chance. Ian Scott throws it on net, save, rebound is smothered by Copeland. Elects to shoot it. I believe might be shooting for a rebound for Wilson, but unfortunately Copeland in perfect position gets the initial save and covers the rebound before anything else can happen.
Yep, squared right up, but you saw they were doing the right thing. They're continuing to crash the net. Both of them gave a little hack there to Copeland. So
off the draw, that one is shot right into the glove of Copeland, and he'll hang on.
Copeland's certainly hanging in there right now. I mean, he's done a great job for him so far, making sure that they're still have that 2-0 lead.
Face-off is dropped and won by the Spartans. Roach will send it over to the far side boards. Looking for Jeanette, but it does not connect, as now it is going to be Reichert getting into the zone and down the ice. It looks like this will roll on net, so McKinnon has to play it. As now is along the near side. Ian Scott trying to get it out, kept in the zone by number 9. That is Ben Jeanette. As Brown will take it to the far side. And that's off the boards and out of the zone. Over by the scorekeeper's box. Here's Reichert. He backhands it over to Scholler. Play onside. As Scholler's pressured by 4 Vipers at one time. As Ian Scott throws it off the glass and into the neutral zone. To be played now by the captain of the Spartans, Roach. Roach pressure now. He'll drop it back. Looks like to Reichert. As that one will be whistled down for an offside as the puck entered the Homestead bench. 5:31 remaining here in the first period. It is 2-0 in favor of the Spartans, but don't count the Vipers out yet. Not yet. There's a reason why they're right up there with Homestead in goals production.
Yeah, actually ranked number 4 in the My Hockey rankings for Indiana, so clearly they have a lot of a pedigree here, and I mean, I do not expect them to go down quietly.
At the point, it is played now by Austin Ormsby, as that shot goes off a stick and into the safety netting. Faceoff will remain inside of the Homestead zone, and it is going to be to the right of the goaltender, Copeland. A little bit of Journey in the background, as off the draw it is going to be played now by Juarez. He stretches it up to Marks, Dylan Marks. Centers it and is broken up. Besh backhand scores! I don't think McKinnon was quite ready for that backhand, as it was pretty much just a soft shot towards the net. Besh with the goal.
Yeah, that one came up on him pretty quick here. I mean, just a nice little play here off the faceoff, making sure they get that puck up, getting that puck out. Watch Marks here. He keeps the puck on his forehand. That's a little underrated thing, but it really does a lot. And there you see just that backhand, just throwing it right past McKinnon. Don't think he knew exactly where that puck was.
And so we have a change in goaltenders for the Vipers. I think this is actually be the first time I've ever seen a goalie pulled for them this year. As coming into relief is going to be the junior on the team, Steven Yeiser. A shot there is saved by Copeland, as that one's banked off the boards. Now played into the slot. Here's Keegan McComb. McComb sends it back down low. Doherty with possession. As now it's out to the point. Kept alive by Kuharski, and it's wrapped around to the near side corner for DeGroot. Now is stolen by McNeil as he has it along the corner. And now takes it behind the net. He and McComb are tying up pretty well. And we have a heavy hit there and a penalty coming up. I do believe this will be on Homestead. Looks like McNeil. So the Vipers will get their second power play of the night, as McNeil looks like he's going to go for cross-checking.
Yeah, perfect opportunity here for the Vipers to kind of get a little bit of momentum going again. Power play here, they definitely need one to kind of get the momentum going up again. I mean, certainly not the start they had envisioned for this game, with McKinnon coming out and giving up those 3 early goals. But Yeiser is definitely a very capable goalie. I mean, across the season, all their games, he's 5-0 with a 1.65 goals against average.
Yeah, as you mentioned, those stats are the entire ISHSHA, the NESA High School Hockey Association, whereas the stats I give off is more direct towards the city play, as now along the far side it is directed out. And that's one of the things that when you change goaltenders, is not necessarily because they're really doing bad, but it's kind of to help wake up the team. Say like, hey guys, this isn't working. We need to change it up before we just get absolutely blown out of the water.
Yeah, that certainly happened to my team a couple years back when we were playing Carroll. Not the start we wanted, turned things around, and ended up taking them to a shootout that year when they were very good. So it can definitely do a lot for a team.
That one's sent down the ice, stopped by Yeiser as he leaves it for Knoblau behind the net. Sends it over to Zamansky, now up to Hayden Scott. That one's tipped into the zone. Here's Reed Johnson. As I mentioned, he's coming off a hat trick last week, excuse me. And now it is along the side of the net and cleared out of the zone. Dangerous play there for the Spartans. They kind of put the puck just outside of the goal crease. That's one thing my hockey coaches in both Dustin Viereck and Ron Leaf said, never pass in front of that crease. Knoblau with it along the corner. Sends it over to Wilson. Wilson stretch pass to the far side. Nobody there to receive it, however. And Hayden Scott levels somebody. He's going to get the attention of the official, Josh Scott. He's going to the box for roughing. So that will negate the Vipers power play, and then Homestead will be on a minute 30 power play once they get McNeil back from the box.
I think that play right here is a perfect example of what the Vipers are doing tonight. I think that's a lot of working hard, but not necessarily working smart. We've talked about them missing those passes up top. Just that pass there was way in front of the intended player, and then just taking a penalty there wasn't completely necessary.
Now, it's a part of that new late hit rule, I believe, is what that one was about. Brown with it, sends it over to Bushel. And that pass is intercepted. Here comes the Spartans. It is Eisenbarger. He goes around, centers it, broken up by Bushel. And now is McKinley with it. Again, one of those stretch passes. That time it actually did result in a turnover. Icing will be waved off as the linesman, Phil Johnson, could play the puck. Homestead will return to the power play. They are 1 for 1 on the night. And now here's McNeil. He's by himself, 3 Vipers. He is along the near corner, trying to center it. Gets it out to the point for Johnson. Johnson to drive. That's blocked in front by McComb and sent down the ice by Brown.
Good job there by McComb to get in that shot lane and knock that one down. Like you mentioned, Johnson's got a little bit of a hot stick right now coming off of that hat trick.
Here comes the Spartans back the other way. Into the zone is McNeil. McNeil driving to the net is poke checked by DeGroot. Now it's along the near side. Center pass to Juarez. He has it. He's lifted there by DeGroot. Stick lift, that is. As now it is along the near side for Marks. Sends it back to McNeil in the corner. McNeil hit there by Kohlmeyer. And here's Marks once again. Beautiful toe drag. He's taken down the play. No call. Ramos sends it to the point. Here's a shot. It goes wide and is behind the net. Ramos sends it to McNeil. It goes through the feet and out of the zone with 25 remaining on the power play for the Spartans. A minute 10 remaining here in the first period. Here comes Marks the other way once again. Into the zone, onside play. Marks him in the corner. Trying to leave it for Ramos, and now it's behind the net once again. As Knoblau has it, he's pressured by Marks. Here is Juarez. Juarez with it. He sends it out to Nicole. Vipers back to full strength. And I believe this is actually going to be a penalty you don't see very much. I believe a butt ending call.
Yeah, McNeil in front there was just getting a little too physical with that member of the Vipers. And they're going to call that one there. Like you said, not something you usually see, but he'll sit 2 for it. I will say, though, I mean, Homestead on that power play that they had going there was doing a really good job making sure they got a lot of traffic to the front of the net. And, I mean, just a lot of bodies, a lot of chaos in front. Goalie doesn't always know where it is. So, doing a lot of things right so far.
I am unsure if the butt ending rule implies a 10-minute misconduct like you see with boarding and head contact, and I believe spearing as well. And actually, McNeil's getting a 5-minute major, too, for butt ending.
Yeah, with how much talk has been going on, I definitely was assuming they'd be giving him something more than just your standard 2. I don't know if this comes with the game misconduct like a 5 usually does.
And it looks like
he's heading out. Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe not, as he looked like he was leaving the box.
I think we're still sorting everything out here. I mean, it's such a rare call. I mean, does anyone even really know what all comes with this?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure McNeil already has all 3 penalties for the Spartans, I do believe. It's like Hurley's going to go to the box as well. Hurley, one of their top producers, so I'm not quite sure why they choose to send him to the box.
Yeah, he isn't, I mean, it might just be me, but I haven't noticed him out there tonight, so he might be under some kind of injury or something, or team
illness,
or
maybe.
Team suspension, something like that, where he still at least wanted to be out there with his boys. But that would be the only reason I can think. Yeah, here you go. You'll see McNeil leaving now, so he will be thrown out.
Between the ice and Homestead locker room. Please clear path between the ice and Homestead locker room.
So McNeil is going to be heading to the showers early here.
It's a big loss for Homestead, especially if they already don't have Hurley. Obviously, that 3-0 start's going to significantly help them out, but Vipers have 5 minutes here, so very good opportunity to get at least 1 goal back. You'd think if you don't get 1 goal back here, you look at this power play as a failure. You're probably hoping to get at least 2.
Yep. Now with the 5-minute major rule for those unaware, we just like to make it well known. The Vipers can score as many times as they want on this 5-minute power play, and they have to serve the full 5 minutes. It doesn't come off like a normal power play. Out to the point. Here's Knoblau. Knoblau's shot, that's blocked. So here's Kuharski. Out to, looks like Ormsby. And here is Knoblau. He's stolen by Ramos. Ramos coming the other way. In with speed. Ramos shot, and it goes above the net and wide. Now grabbed by Juarez. And it is played up by Ormsby. And that one's going down the length of the ice. Copeland comes out to play, and here's Ormsby with a shot. Blocked in front by Marks. Marks makes the save. But it looks like Kuharski's going to go to the box for goaltender interference.
Yeah, we'll get a look at that one real quick. It definitely looked like there was a little bit of contact there. I mean, I'm not exactly sure why Copeland thought it was a good idea to go all the way out there in the first place, but I guess it kind of pays off for him in that regard. Get a look at it there. Yeah, Kucharski, you can just see at the edge of the frame. Definitely goes in there hard, kind of sprays him a little bit.
And what they got up for slashing on that one.
Yep, I can see that. Definitely came in there hard, a little aggressively. Not sure why, but you know what? Now we're going to play some 4-on-4.
So that will obviously kill 2 minutes as the buzzer sounds here in the first. The 5-minute major was something that I'm pretty sure the Vipers were looking to spark them if they were able to succeed, but now they're going to automatically lose 2 minutes off that clock for it. So that's basically going to lose almost half the power play now to 4-on-4 hockey, where they could probably, like I said, use that whole 5 minutes to try to bring this back.
Yeah, that's just a penalty that you cannot take right there if you're Kucharski. Down 3-0, you need all the time you can get with the advantage to try and work your way back into this one. It's still 4-on-4, so they still have a great chance to probably get one here. And they'll have another about 2 minutes, give or take, of power play left after that. But certainly that one's a bit of a backbreaker there on that penalty, considering it was completely unnecessary. Oh, So while we got a second here, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back here on SummitCitySports.com.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where
Welcome back here to the Sport One Parkview Ice House. Still just wrapping up intermission here. Just to recap a little bit, 3-0 for Homestead, and we got some penalties.
Yep. 4:12 remaining in the McNeil Major. 1:54 remaining in the Kuharski Minor. Taking a look back at the goal production, Homestead, 2 goals by Hunter Ramos, one of them on the power play. And then it was Besh making it 3-0. That's where we currently sit now as we get ready to start the second period. So off the draw, it is going to be played inside of the Homestead zone, but banked off the boards and out. Excuse me. As now is played by Knoblau inside his own defensive end. Knoblau coming down the ice along the near side, takes it to the half wall and now to the corner. He's poke checked there by Marks as Marks goes behind the net. Kept alive there by Hayden Scott. Here's Scott down to McKinnon. Trevor McKinnon and Marks tie up. On the far corner, Juarez comes in to assist. As it is still being poked free, Wilson finally gets it out to Hayden Scott. Scott with a shot blocked in front by Juarez. And now another chance by Knoblau, tipped into the safety netting by Wilson. We got a few players down here along the near side as they all kind of fell into each other. So as I mentioned during the intermission here coming up, we will have a bit of a shootout for the youth travel team as part of Youth Hockey Night on our pre-Thanksgiving broadcast of high school hockey. Face-off will be inside of the neutral zone, just outside of the Homestead blue line, as it is now played by Reasoner in the corner. He's bumped by Johnson. Now it's over to Zemansky along the near side. Zemansky drops it to Bushel. Bushel, shot, it goes wide. And now here's Zemansky. Zemansky at the point. Down low to Brown. Cross ice pass to Bushel. Bushel sends it down low for Reasoner. Rolls on his stick though, but he comes away with it as he's pressured by Reichert. As he cuts back to the near side boards. That one's banked off the boards and out, however, and it goes down to be played by Zemansky with Ramos in pursuit. Here's Bushel, 25 seconds remaining on the Kuharski Minor, and Reasoner comes down the other way. Reasoner, drop pass for Brown. It's stolen, and here's Ramos the other way. Him and Matt Jeanette, 2-on-1 opportunity. Ramos backhands it to Jeanette. Jeanette a shot, and it goes wide. Bushel was coming back to assist for the Vipers. As now here's Hunter Ramos. Behind the net, now to the corner, goes back behind the net. He tries to put it home, unable to do so. Saved by Yeiser. The Vipers return to full strength and will return to the power play, but tied up in the corner. Played by Doherty. He's doing a really good job on killing a couple seconds off that clock, as here is Ormsby. He's poke checked by Hartle. Obviously, this is not the start that the Vipers wanted to this major.
No, a little lackadaisical there with getting stuck on that battle and just going through the neutral zone, just having that puck knocked off their stick. And now in icing, definitely want to tighten up and play a bit more of a simple game. Just pretty much anything that could be, any little thing that could go wrong for them right now. It's not necessarily going their way.
So face-off will stay down inside the Viper end. It is going to be the left of the goaltender, Yeiser. Minute 47 remaining in the major. 12:34 remaining here in the second. And here comes the Vipers the other way. Knoblau inside the zone, play on side, but it's immediately sent out by Asiala. Controlled by DeGroot as he gets it to Zemansky. Zemansky comes into the zone, banks it off the boards. As now it's played by Roach in the corner. He'll just push it to the boards to kill off time. And it is going to be McKinley trying to work it free. It pops loose for a brief moment, and now McKinley comes away with it. McKinley out to Backstrom. Back to McKinley, just outside the face-off circle. Over to DeGroot. He's poke checked there, and it is McKinley keeping it in for the Vipers.
DeGroot a little too low there. He has the whole zone. Why not be a little higher up? So when he gets that pass, he has more time before he has to make a decision.
Here's Zemansky, shot save, rebound is smothered by Copeland.
Good rebound there for the Vipers from that last shift that wasn't great. Started out the period pretty strong, sagged off a little bit, but now they're back on track here again. Still got 53 seconds left, bringing out another power play unit here.
Face off inside of the Homestead zone to the left of Copeland. As it's won by Scholler, however, tying up was Scott, and we're going to have another penalty coming up to the Spartans. Hayden Scott with it. And this is where you kind of want Homestead to touch it to give yourself more time on that power play, as now it's a 5-on-3 for the Vipers.
Yeah, 41 seconds. I remember last year instances where we could have a full power play with 5-on-3, not necessarily full, but you know what I'm saying. And we just have Kaylee Schrock, who was our coach at the time, just screaming his lungs out from the bench, just yelling at you to give it to him. I mean, people never really heard him, but nonetheless, you get the idea, you know. You want to have as much time on that 5-on-3 as you possibly can.
Control zone on the Tech logo is going to be controlled by Hayden Scott. And now here's Brown inside the zone. 3-on-2. Brown shot saved by Copeland. And the rebound is directed to the far corner. Here is McKinnon. McKinnon out to Hayden Scott. Back to McKinnon. Shot to Wilson, and it goes wide. Here's Hayden Scott again. Back to McKinnon. Back to Scott. Backhand save. Rebound is going to be grabbed by Eisenbarger and cleared out of the zone.
Two chances there for Wilson that were just so close.
Here's McKinnon once again. He's poke checked by Reichert, and that's sent down the ice. As one of the power play times is ran off, so now it's a 5-on-4. They managed to kill the 5-minute major.
Yeah, they certainly did, and they did it pretty effectively too. I mean, not giving up too many high-danger chances until those last two there from Wilson right next to the net. But they're not out of the woods yet. Still got another minute and 12 here on the PK.
Face-off inside of the Vipers end, as it's going to be a face-off win by the Vipers. However, it is stolen by the Spartans, and here's Hartle throwing it back down low. Along the face-off circle, Bushel looking for another stretch pass, and it goes down for another icing. One thing that I believe the Vipers need to make a change on is kind of pull back on this stretch pass play that they're trying. It's not quite connecting like it did the first couple minutes. Maybe just go with shorter passes, look for that extra pass. It may take a little longer to get into the zone, but then you ensure you at least have possession, not go with a 50-50 chance. So now off the draw here is DeGroot sending it into the Spartan end as icing is waved off. DeGroot tied up. Marks will send it out to the point. Kucharski keeps it in the zone. As that's sent over to Bushel. Bushel shot redirected by McComb, and it's intercepted by Roach. Here's Bushel once again, sending it down to Ormsby. Ormsby banks it back out to the point, as it's now back into the neutral zone. Bushel over to Kucharski. It's up to Ormsby. Ormsby into the zone. Play onside. Hartle loses balance there, and now that's stolen by Marks. Poke check by DeGroot, and now is grabbed by Roach, and that one sent down the ice, gloved by Kucharski with 8 seconds remaining on the power play. This will give Homestead obviously a big boost in their morale, as now the penalty is expired. Both teams back to full strength with 9:25 remaining here in the second period. It is still 3-0 Homestead.
You got to think that kills a little bit of morale, at least some for the Vipers. I mean, they had almost 6 minutes there worth of power play time. Granted, not all of it they got to have their 5-on-4, but still, I mean, I said if they didn't get, that's what it was.
Inside the zone, Roach over to Doherty. Doherty looking to Roach again, but it's intercepted now by Ormsby and Besh as they tie up along the boards. Still there, trying to work it free is Juarez, and McKinley is finally poked free by Ormsby, but now grabbed by Matt Jeanette. And now it's to the point for Brown. Brown, a shot, that one's blocked in front, and McKinley can't gather the rebound as that one hit I believe, the back of one of his own players. As now that one is sent down the ice. Icing will not be called as it is waved off. And now it is along the near side boards and down the ice. Racing forward is Doherty and Brown. Hayden Scott has it for the Vipers. He'll bank it off the boards. Matt Jeanette now intercepts for the Spartans. Play will be whistled down for the offsides with 8:05 remaining here in the second.
It's just those kind of little things right now for the Vipers, you know. I mean, that little offsides, those icings on the power play, those are the kind of things that you want to avoid, especially in a 3-0 game when you're trying to make a comeback. They've had the puck a good amount here in the second period, but nothing real high danger, you know.
Yeah, as I learned, it was always quality over quantity. You can have 1,000 shots a game, but if only 2 of them are real high-quality chances, it just doesn't matter. And now here is Marks. He sends it over to Juarez, and that one's intercepted. As now here come the Vipers the other way. Trevor McKinnon into the zone. McKinnon hits the brakes along the near side wall. He sends it back down low. Marks intercepts. Lehman almost hit him knee on knee, so that was a very dangerous play as that one is shot back in and controlled by Reed Johnson. Johnson looking up ice. He gets it to Brimmer, and Brimmer will throw it inside of the Vipers end to be played by Knoblau. Knoblau with it for the Vipers. That one's out to the neutral zone to be grabbed by Johnson. Up to Matt Jeanette. Jeanette into the zone. He's poke checked. And now it is going to be the Vipers the other way. Here's McKinnon. A shot blocked by Reichert. And it's going to be loose outside the crease. And Johnson with a diving poke check knocks it away. As here's McKinnon once again. McKinnon looking for Kohlmeyer. That's knocked away by Scholler. Now Kohlmeyer once again. Shot, easy stick save. Rebound by Zemansky's wide. And now out to the point. Knoblau over to DeGroot. He will go out to face it. And now here's a shot, save, rebound, gathered out by Scholler. And going the other way. Scholler hit hard by is played inside the neutral zone. Now inside the Spartan end. Johnson racing Wilson for possession. Wilson gets there. And now it's going to be behind the net. McComb and Scholler go down on the ice as it is going to be controlled by Jeanette. And now to the near side. Wilson out to Hayden Scott. Shot saved by Copeland. Rebound gathered by Johnson and cleared. DeGroot knocks it down. Is going to be sent out to Asiala inside his own defensive end. Asiala tries to stretch pass it out to Ramos. It's intercepted by Hayden Scott. Scott shot. Easy glove save by Copeland.
Scholler and McComb battling a little bit right there, even after that whistle there. As McComb's going to the net, caught another cross-check in the back. Going to have to make sure they watch that here when it comes to penalties.
So face-off will stay inside of the Homestead zone. Is going to be to the left of Copeland. As here's Ormsby. Ormsby with it. Now it's going to be out to Hartle, and that one is played by Eisenbarger. Poke check by Backstrom. Now here's Reisner. It's inside the neutral zone for Brown. Brown with it, trying to get in. It's poke checked by Nicole inside the zone. And Hayden Scott sends Ben Jeanette down to the ice hard as Asiala sends it inside the zone. To be played by Eisenbarger. That shot is wide and out to the point. It's loose in the feet of Asiala. He can't find it. Now here's a 2-on-1. Here's Ormsby. Ormsby centers, and they can't rolls to the side of the net, and now grabbed by Asiala. Good chance for the Vipers. Here's Backstrom, and he puts it down low. Ormsby with it, drop pass to Reisner. Reisner's trying to center, it's intercepted by Eisenbarger. That one's sent down the ice, and will go the length for the icing.
and that whole thing just started. The pressure the Vipers got was because of that, and they just had a great opportunity there, and a great defensive play as well by that Homestead defenseman to make sure he covered up that lane.
Off the draw is going to be Bushel. He'll flip it over to Knoblau. As it's sent down low to Kuharski. Centers it to, looks like Scott, but it's broken up. Here's Bushel with a chance, blocked in front by Besh. And it's out into, now it's back to Besh. Is that one out to point? Another keep in. Here's McKinnon, a shot blocked. Rebound, where is it? And it plays whistle down as we have a disappearing puck. So face-off will be inside the neutral zone. As Marks will shoot it into the Viper end off the draw. As now Doherty puts it back inside the Viper end as it was cleared. Here's Knoblau. Knoblau trying to get it out, intercepted by Marks. He's taken down by two Vipers, and now it is going to be played by, looks like Trevor McKinnon in the neutral zone. Sent down, and that one is shot into the Vipers bench, and the face-off looks like will remain inside of the Spartan end to the left of the goaltender Copeland with 3:54 remaining here in the second period.
Despite not having Hurley and McNeil, Homestead's doing a really good job hanging there in this game now. Kind of a bit of a bend but don't break mentality here, and Lane Copeland's helping out a lot, making a lot of nice saves here. The defense doing a great job not letting a ton come from the middle.
So off the draw is going to be played along the near side. And now it's up to Ramos, who's got 2 goals tonight. He kicks it to Bremer. Now it's going to be played by Kohlmeyer. Kohlmeyer with it. He stops behind the net. Now to the near side for Wilson. And here's McKinley. McKinley back to Wilson. Now it's sent down inside the zone. Here's Roach. That's intercepted along the near side wall. And here's Ramos once again. Hunter Ramos goes around Brown. Backhands it to the slot. Here's Bremer, a shot saved by Geyser. And it is covered with 3:11 remaining here in the second period.
Geyser doing a good job getting there on that rebound before Homestead had 2 guys right there looking for it. Keeping this score 3-0, where that could have been another dangerous chance for Homestead to get another one on the board here and expand that lead. That's already pretty dangerous with time starting to wind down a little bit here in the second period.
So face-off down inside of the Vipers end. Here is Doherty at the point. Wrist shot, tipped in front, and a save by Geyser. Now it is played by Marks along the far corner. Marks down low to Juarez. And looks like it's in the skate of Hayden Scott along the side of the net. Play whistle down now, finally. .251 remaining here in the second period. Face-off once again to the right of the goaltender Geyser. As now it is grabbed by Juarez. Juarez trying to center it to Marks, and it goes off into the corner. So here's Marks once again. Another shot is off the mark and to the near board, or excuse me, far boards. Now is Hayden Scott taking it to the near boards. And Hayden Scott cuts to the far side, coming down. He's inside the zone. Hayden Scott throws it towards the net, easily sticked away by Copeland as Marks throws it down the length of the rink. And here's Juarez. Juarez races for it. He gets there before Hayden Scott. Juarez. And it's broken up. I'm not sure if he was able to get the shot off or if he was poke-checked there. But a good defensive play by the Vipers. And now here's Reasoner the other way. Reasoner into the zone. Reasoner hits the brakes, throws it towards Zemansky, and Copeland cuts it off. And now it is down the ice to be played by Bushel. Now here's Ormsby. He's hit by Juarez, preventing the puck from coming into the zone, as now it is Scholler. Backhands it towards Doherty along the near corner. Elliott Doherty sends it over to Nicole. That one is kept alive, but Ormsby will skate it out of the zone. As he brings it back in. That's along the near side once again. Here is Nicole. As a rolling puck goes back to Nicole once again. He's pressured by Ormsby, kept alive there by McKinnon. McKinnon in the high slot, shot, stick saved by Copeland. And Juarez knocks it down the ice.
That's a nice save there by Cope, which the Vipers have had here in a little bit. Squares up, gets a good stick on it, and pops right back up. That's just another demonstration as well of how the Vipers just aren't really getting the bounces right now. You know, sometimes that one might come right back out in front on the ice. That one bouncing past Bushel there on the far blue line just a few minutes ago. It's just that kind of thing that's hurting the Vipers right now.
1 of 6 remaining here in the second period. It is still 3-0 in favor of Homestead. And we will have play whistle down once again as they're going to elect for a new centerman for the Vipers. One by Kohlmeyer. Asiala backhands it over to Nicole. Nicole with it now. That one's off the boards. Now McKinley shot. That one rolls into the glove of Copeland, and he hangs on. Here's Kohlmeyer with it inside to the face-off circle along with Juarez. As now is won by Juarez. Asiala with it. Here is Nicole. Over to Juarez. Juarez trying to get it out. Kept alive by Wilson. Wilson wraps around the boards. Bit of last-minute pressure for the Vipers. McKinley tied up with Nicole. That's along the near side. And down the ice, here's Juarez. Juarez goes in the Vipers' end. He takes a shot. It goes wide. Now it is going to be McKinley hit to the ice. Wilson with it. But it's backhanded over to Ramos, who will retreat in his own end. Goes to the far side. Banks it off the boards. Now here's Drew Wilson. Intercepted by, looks like Ramos. 8 seconds remain on the clock. Root with it now. Hill lies for McKeegan McComb. And Asiala, good job getting back, breaks it up. That will do it for the second period. As the Vipers are down 3-0 on Homestead. We will take a break here on Summit City Sports. We will return here for your intermission.
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors...
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting me up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. You know, they just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express Walk-In Clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
We are back here at the Parkview Sport One Ice House. We are in our intermission here between the Vipers and the Spartans. As part of youth hockey night, we have one of our travel teams here, part of the Parkview Force, doing a little bit of a shootout here during the intermission. So let's take a look back to how we got to where we're at. The Vipers are really struggling right now out the gate, which is, to be honest, a little bit of an understatement for tonight. I've seen them struggle on times, but I've always seen them rebound. But right now, they're really struggling with passes, and they're really struggling with zone entry, which can be very, very, what's the word I'm thinking of here?
Critical?
Yes, thank you. Critical on offensive pressure.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything you said there is true, you know. Against Leo, I can't remember if that was last week or 2 weeks ago, but I mean, it was kind of close for a while, and that's a team that, no offense to Leo, but should probably get beat pretty thoroughly by a team like the Vipers just based on depth, and kind of had a little bit of trouble with that, but they ended up bringing it back together and ended up winning that game pretty good. I mean, right now, the puck possession is there, like, a lot of the time. I feel like they have the puck a decent amount. It's just getting in the zone, like you mentioned, has been a little tougher than it normally is. And then their lack of high-quality chances. A lot of shots kind of coming from the outside, kind of outside that house area, that slot area right in the middle of the ice where you want your shots to come from. And Lane Copeland is just doing a pretty good job there in net for Homestead, making sure that they don't get anything easy, making sure rebounds aren't really all over the place. And then Homestead on the other end is just very opportunistic. They've scored a lot when they've had their chances. And you see that 3-0. And they're playing without arguably their two best players tonight. I mean, McNeil thrown out pretty early on in the first half of the game. Hurley not playing tonight for some reason. Not sure why. But nonetheless, they're doing a great job. I mean, Zach Juarez has been playing pretty well. He's had a lot of little rushes by himself and just stuff like that that really haven't been going the way of the Vipers.
Yeah, and one's got to wonder the frustration level starting to mount for the Vipers as they're not able to produce like they have in previous weeks. However, we still got 15 minutes to play. A lot can happen in that time. As I've seen, especially, last week, obviously these are the professionals, but the Comets came back last week in the final 5 minutes of a period to tie it up. So as you can see, I mean, obviously anything can happen in a short amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, it can really turn around just like that. I mean, I was at that game, and I mean, that was nuts. It was like every shot was suddenly going in after the exact opposite thing was happening to them on their other end. But I'm sure the Vipers, I mean, they're a pretty experienced team, so I don't know if panic is the right word, but they definitely need to take this time here, that's intermission, which is going to be a little longer than usual, to kind of reset themselves, go over a couple of small things, and just refocus. I mean, they know what they have to do. They have a pretty tall mountain to climb right now. 3 goals when they've gotten nothing to this point. It's certainly, I mean, they're going to have to come out and get one pretty quick to get the momentum rolling.
Yeah, first probably about a good 3 minutes is going to be critical for both teams. Obviously, Homestead wanting to get another one on the board will kind of put this away. The Vipers, they always say, 3-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in hockey. And if the Vipers can get one early, that will probably give them momentum going into the remaining time here in the second. Take a look at our highlights, though, from last week's game. As I mentioned, Homestead defeated Leo 9-2, so they continue their production. The Vipers beat Carroll 5-1. Dylan Marks for Homestead had 6 points on the night, 2 goals, 4 assists. Cody Hurley had 1 goal, 3 assists for 4 points, along with Ramos, who had the same tallies, 1 goal, 3 assists. Reed Johnson for Homestead, 3 goals for the hat trick. And then for the Vipers, Chase Kohlmeyer had 2 points, 2 goals last week. Parker Ray had 2 points in their loss to the Spartans, 1 goal, 1 assist. And Jared McKinley for the Vipers had 1 goal, 1 assist in their 5-1 victory over the Chargers last week. And take a look at the scoring leaders, and look who right there is at the top. Cody Hurley for Homestead, 8 goals, 8 assists, pretty much 50-50 right down the line for his points for 16. Juarez and Marks make up the 2 and 3 spot respectively in that order. Juarez with 7 goals, 5 assists for 12 points. Marks, on the other hand, not necessarily a goal scorer, but he's been involved in the assist category, which is just as critical as a goal, as he only has 2 goals this season, but 10 assists. And it looks like he actually leads the entire league right now in assists.
Yeah, Dylan Marks kind of almost a 180 from his stat line last year, where it was pretty goals heavy, if I remember correctly. Definitely playing a different role this year, doing a lot of the dishing instead of the finishing of the goals. I mean, and then you talk about Homestead. 5 of the top 6 scorers are all Homestead players. I mean, that just goes to show that this is an elite offensive team that just knows how to score. And I think the difference this year, and what's really setting them apart from especially last year, but even going a couple years back, is I think the goaltending has been better this year. I mean, the goaltending is not their strong suit, but this year they're getting solid goaltending, and they're just outscoring every problem they have. And that's really a big factor. I mean, 15 goals against, that's more than the Vipers, but given that they have 10 more goals than the Vipers do, I mean, it's hard to compete with that kind of offense. I mean, 9 goals last week. They got 3 this week already against a pretty good team, pretty quick. So a lot of offense is working for the Vipers right now. They just have so many weapons. Hurley, I mean, we've talked enough about him. Juarez, you've seen him tonight. He's been solid. Marks, dishing. Ramos, that speed is just unbelievable. Probably one of the fastest kids in the league. And then just Doherty, a steady defenseman there, who's just getting the puck up and making sure that his team has chances in the offensive zone.
Yeah, as you can see here in our, I guess, league standings game sheet here, it is Homestead leading the way in scoring. However, leading the way in goaltenders is the Vipers. Steven Yeiser is right now the #1 goalie in Fort Wayne with a 1.0 goals against average and a .947 save percentage.
Yeah, those are fantastic numbers. He's only building on those tonight. Hasn't let up a goal yet. Hasn't seen a ton of shots, but that's just going to help that goals against, and it's going to help that save percentage. Really having a great year so far. I mean, he was good with Northrop, but that was just not the kind of situation he's in now, where he's got a very good team in front of him, and the goaltenders are really just excelling at this point in most of their games.
And then right up is Connor McKinnon with 1.99 goals against average and a .905 save percentage. And then it's Homestead right behind them with Copeland and Lay. They're Copeland with a 2.52 goals against and an .824 save percentage, with Lay obviously with a 3.46 and a .830 save percentage. But if you look at towards the bottom of our goaltending leaders, the one with the most work is actually goaltender from Leo, Isaac Morel, already with 133 saves on the year, but with the goals against average of a 5.33 and an 0.893 save percentage. So he's facing a lot of shots on Leo's team. He's facing a lot, and unfortunately, with the high quantity of shots he's facing, odds are a lot of them are going to go in, especially when you see teams like Homestead and the Vipers on your roster or on the opposing bench. So obviously that's one thing that it's kind of misleading a little bit. Yes, he's got a kind of a high goals against average for Morel, but also you got to look at the workload he's had already. Yeah. As I mentioned, it's just a 180 from Homestead leading the way in scoring, and it's the Vipers leading the way in goaltending. Normally you'd see the two coincide.
Yeah, you really would. And I mean, all their numbers are really good together as well. I mean, Homestead still has only let in 15 goals. The next lowest goals against is at 29. So those teams, the Vipers and the Spartans, really just, I mean, it's almost like an entire separate echelon. Like their defenses, they're just more talented all around, I would say. And their goaltending certainly helps that, especially in the case of the Vipers. 2 really good goalies. Not exactly what they were showing tonight, but in most cases, I mean, a 1.0 goals against, just under a 2 goals against. Most of the time, those are numbers that are going to win you a lot of hockey games, and they have so far. 4-0-1, and that one was still an overtime loss where Homestead scored the tying goal with just about a second left, and then it just unfortunately didn't work out for the Vipers from that point. but definitely very strong goaltending. And talking about Morel, I'm sure we'll talk about him more in the next game, Carol Leo in the nightcap. But that high workload is just so much higher than everyone else. It just becomes too difficult, you know. I'm sure you could talk more about this, but on a goaltender, that just becomes mentally taxing when you're just under a constant barrage of just shots nonstop. I mean, you said 133 saves. The next highest is 61 saves from Carteau of Carroll. So that's just such a huge difference. It's just hard to keep up with that.
Yeah, it definitely can be very taxing on the body and mind. So we're going to shift away from the high school hockey for a brief second to talk about tomorrow's Comet game. Tomorrow is the annual Bob Chase Memorial Night, which is obviously, you know, big thing here since Chase was passing. They are going to be wearing a special themed Bob Chase jersey tomorrow night that will be raffled off after the game, where 100% of the funds raised from the raffle will obviously be going to Penny Pinch, which from Lolo, which was Bob's favorite thing to do. This year's recipient for the 72nd annual Penny Pinch effort will be the Cancer Services of Northeast Indiana. So we're not doing much tomorrow with Thanksgiving. Come on out, you know, Comet game, you know, local team, get some enjoyment, and try to help out with the Penny Pinch effort. With, as I said, 100% of the funds raised will go to the Cancer Services of Northeast Indiana for this Penny Pinch effort, as we honor and remember Mr. Bob Chase, as obviously the voice for 65 years, I think, when he unfortunately passed. He was there pretty much from outside that first season. He was there the whole way. So, again, come on out, you know, tomorrow night for the Comet game. Even if, you know, if you don't feel like doing a raffle, make a donation to Penny Pinch and everything with it, as I said, going to the Cancer Services in Northeast Indiana.
Bob Chase just such a special figure here in Fort Wayne for obvious reasons. Hockey is a huge part of the community here, and the fact that he was a part of it for so long, almost 60-plus years, that's almost his entire adult life. An absolute legend. I mean, he's gone on to mentor some great broadcasters like Mike Emmerich. I'm sure most of the hockey people know him as the lead broadcaster on NBC. And definitely go out to the Comets game. I mean, it's going to be good hockey. It's against Wheeling, who they've played a lot this year, so they know each other. It should be a fun game to watch, and I know I'm definitely going to be contributing to that raffle. It's not bidding like it usually is, so you're not going to be spending an outrageous amount of money, and the jerseys are pretty neat. If you look them up on Instagram, they're more just classic jerseys, just almost alternate jerseys instead of these specialty superhero night jerseys, that kind of stuff that they usually do that are more gimmicky. These are definitely nice, clean jerseys, and raffling it off, you know, gives everyone a chance, so you're not having to spend a ton of money, and all the proceeds go to a good cause. So definitely looking forward to it tomorrow night.
Yep, tomorrow is going to be the second half of a home and home. They're currently in Wheeling right now as we speak, playing against Wheeling. And obviously, you know, one of the local Fort Wayne products there, Blake Siebenaller, playing for Wheeling. So it's always fun to kind of see him come back into town. Hopefully one day see him in the orange and black. Anyway, so as I mentioned, tomorrow, Memorial game, Bob Chase, with the raffling of the game-worn jerseys tomorrow night, with 100% of the proceeds going to Penny Pinch, the 72nd annual effort, and all the funds raised will go to the Cancer Services of Northeast Indiana. We will take one more break here before we get back to the action between the Vipers and the Spartans, right here on SummitCitySports.com.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Developing athletes to be foundationally strong. Healthy and consistent training. Expert staff. long-term athletic development. Parkview Sports Medicine Performance. Any athlete, any
The Acme Bar and Grill, where neighbors meet. A Fort Wayne tradition since 1941. We feature nightly dinner specials along with our iconic pizza, wings, and pork tenderloins, and barbecue in our family-friendly atmosphere with a retro flair. Additionally, we offer a full bar with 26 beers on tap from various Midwest breweries. We also have an area perfect for private events such as meetings, reunions, and banquets that holds up to 50 people. The Acme Bar and Grill, located in the heart of East State Village, where neighbors...
For every victory, for every highlight, for every team in the Summit Athletic Conference, we've got you covered. Like, follow, and subscribe for all the latest.
And so we are back here at the Parkview Sport One Ice House as the Vipers are ready for action. The Spartans getting a little bit of last-minute instruction, kind of help preserve this 3-goal lead as we look to get the third period underway. Copeland still in net for the Spartans, and it's still Yeiser in for the Vipers, as now it is going to be played inside of the Vipers, and that one goes into the safety netting. Play whistle down. So shots in the game, it is Homestead with 13, and the Vipers, I believe they said 17.
That's what I heard as well, so pretty even. That's about what I would expect here.
But obviously, the Vipers are more concerned about the big numbers on the board than anything. Center and feed broken up, following an angel on the play, as we called it in the referee program. And now it is going to be played into the neutral zone by Marks, but it's stolen by Zemansky. Zemansky with a wrist serve, scores! As we talked about this in the intermission, the first 2 or 3 minutes is going to be critical. If the Vipers really wanted to get back in this game, they needed to strike early, and they did.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see. I mean, that's almost, it looks like almost a nothing play, but just to throw it at the net, you never know what happens there. And now it's a 3-1 game, less than a minute into the third period. The music's got to be getting the boys going. This song's pretty juiceful. And you know what? Game on. Here we go.
Yep. Vipers look to keep this momentum going. They probably put a little bit of wind in their sails and probably alerted Homestead, like, oh my gosh, let's not blow this now. As here is Homestead in the high slot. It was Ramos taken down on the play. Here's Hayden Scott. Backhands out. He is hit hard. That was Reason getting hit by Dougherty. And now it's stolen. Here's Jeanette. Shot saved by the goaltender Yeiser. As now it is going to be down in the high slot. Brimmer trying to keep it in. It's still in the feet for Brimmer. And he gets it to Ramos. Ramos towards the circle. That one backhand is wide. Penalty coming up. The Vipers touch up. Hooking is the call. So the Spartans will go on the power play. This is something that the Vipers didn't quite need right now as they're trying to get back in.
Definitely not what they wanted to see right now, but just going to have to kill it here, make sure Homestead, without their 2 most dangerous weapons on the power play, doesn't get anything here. Definitely don't want to give this goal right back.
It is going to be McKinnon against Juarez in the face-off circle. Juarez wins it back. Here's Besh to Marks. Dylan Marks back to Besh in the high slot. Backhanded out to Nicole. Racing for is Knoblau, and coming away with it will be the Spartans, as it was in the skates of McKinnon. Here's Nicola's shot, scores! A power play goal. And that's exactly what we were just talking about, something that the Vipers did not need. was giving that goal right back to Homestead.
Yeah, that's brutal, especially because this one might have actually been offside. So take a look at it here. Don't know how close it'll be, but it was certainly very close. Watch there in the middle of your screen. Looks good, but it was close there for a second. And that's just a shot that Geyser's got to have on that one. But you know what? We're right back where we needed to. I guess we're right back where we were. And you know, the Vipers just can't let this one really just kill their momentum here. They got to try and get right back on the attack.
Off the draw, it is now back inside of the Spartan end. Now here it is down the ice. Scholler sends it in. Jeanette with it, centers it towards the net. It's grabbed by Kohlmeyer, and it's off the boards and out into the neutral zone for Backstrom to play. Backstrom goes around Asiala. That shot is wide of the net. Pretty sure he was probably looking for a centering attempt for a tip-in. As here is Asiala. He's tied up actually with Backstrom, it looks like. So Kohlmeyer's going to have it now for the Vipers. He'll throw it off the boards to Ormsby, who will backhand it out to Knoblau at the point, who sends it down to Brown along the near side corner. He fans on it, but Kohlmeyer is able to keep it alive for the Vipers. Backstrom backhands it towards the net, and it'll be Copeland who covers it. With 12:21 remaining here in the third period, it's now 4-1 Spartans.
Well, the Vipers definitely did not want to give up that goal there. If you want to find a silver lining, I think it's in the fact that that one was gotten by Homestead pretty quick into that power play there. So it's not like they're losing a whole lot of time here, but still definitely a setback with 12 minutes and 3 goals to make up just to tie it, assuming they don't let any more in.
So both centermen are getting chased out of the circle. As Doherty will lose it now to McComb. McComb, attempted shots blocked by Doherty. As McComb has it once again, gets it to Kuharski. DeGroot sends it back down low to Reasoner. Reasoner centering feed, but nobody's there. It's out to Hayden Scott at the point. Scott sends it down low. It's played by Roach. Roach wraps it around the boards. It's going to be played now by Roach, actually, as Scott kept it alive. He keeps it in the zone once again. No, he doesn't. Refs rule it just crept over the determining edge of the blue line. Play offside.
Just barely if it got off. And one of the little details about hockey that some of you guys may not know is the blue line, the far edge that's not closest to the goal in that situation would be that determining edge. So if it stayed right on that blue line, that would have been good. But it just crossed back over into the neutral zone.
So off the draw, that one's off the glass. And now into the neutral end. Hayden Scott back in his own zone. It's going to be Roach putting it back in the zone for the Spartans. Hayden Scott with it. He'll throw it around to the near side for McKinley to possess. There's McKinley off the boards for DeGroot. He'll backhand it up to Wilson. And that attempt to get it in the zone's blocked down. Marks and Johnson tie up, and now here's a 3-on-2 for the Vipers. But a good defensive play by Besh. Pokes it away from DeGroot. Now here's Hayden Scott. A shot blocked. That one rolls over the net and wide. Tying up along the corner is Wilson, and I believe that might be Reichert. I am unaware right now. Yep, it was Reichert, as coming away with it will be Dallas Reichert. As it is going to be Reichert once again, tied up with Hayden Scott. It's behind the net for Johnson to play. And that's stolen by McKinley. Puck's kind of bouncing between the skates and the sticks here. No one quite getting full possession. As here's Wilson trying to center it. It's stolen by Besh, who now comes into the neutral zone down the far side. As he dodges a hit from DeGroot. This is played by Hayden Scott. He's taken down the play. No call will be coming up. As here's Wilson once again. Wilson, stretch pass for Ian Scott. That's broken up. Play onside as the goaltender Geyser will leave it for Hayden Scott. As that one's played by Nicole in his own defensive end. Stretch pass to the far side is stolen by Zemansky. Zemansky with a shot. Glove save by Copeland. Almost an identical shot to how he scored, but this time he went short side on the glove, but this time Copeland makes the save.
Yeah, a great read there by Zemansky to come in off the bench, make that interception there. Another good look for his team, who's been getting a lot of good pressure there for the most part of that shift. Certainly not letting Homestead get anything, but like you were saying, the puck's more just bouncing around, so they're not really able to create a lot of opportunities like that, which at this point, that's what they need.
9:52 remaining here in the third period. Faceoff's won by the Vipers in their offensive zone, as it is now going to be grabbed by Hartle. And it's going to be played by Bushel. Stretch pass to the far side for Zemansky. Dodges a hit from Asiala. Ian Scott sends it to the glass. Now grabbed by Trevor McKinnon. Trevor McKinnon dodges a hit from Hartle. Ian Scott out to the point for Knoblau. Knoblau, a wrister. It rolls, rebound by McKinnon is wide. Here's Knoblau, tipped on net, and Copeland makes the save and covers the rebound with 9:18 remaining here in the third.
Good look there by the Vipers, doing some good things there, getting bodies to the net. The puck comes to the net. McKinnon just unlucky, misses that wide open goal here. This is everything you want. Shot from the middle, lots of traffic, and then just can't convert on that one.
Off the draw is going to be number 19. I believe that is matching it. Stolen by Backstrom, and it goes above the net and wide. That one sent down the ice for icing. This, however, I believe is what the Vipers were looking for to start off, because they've had some real strong pressure in the offensive zone since Homestead kind of scored that goal that brought it back to a 3-goal lead. They're really starting to apply the offensive pressure, which is what I think they were looking for from the get-go.
Yeah, doing a good job here, just staying on Homestead, not giving them time to make the decision they want to make, and just making sure they're controlling the puck.
DeGroot at the point, keeps it inside the zone for the Vipers. Kohlmeyer takes it to the corner. He is run into by Asiala. Now it is sent to the near side. Ormsby with possession. Ormsby sends it down low. Centering feet to Kohlmeyer. Kohlmeyer shot. Stick save, rebound. It is loose outside the crease. And Ormsby comes away with it for the Vipers. Backstrom with it now. Takes it to the near side. Ormsby still with possession. Actually, that is Backstrom. It's poked at the line and out of the zone. Backstrom providing a pick for DeGroot to come away with it as he sends it up to Ormsby. Ormsby trying to toe drag on Ramos as he sends it down low to DeGroot. Centers to Kohlmeyer, intercepted by Nicole. Brown sends it down low to the near side corner. Dougherty will throw it off the boards and down the ice for another icing. This is about all that Homestead's really able to do right now.
Yeah, they're just kind of hanging on right now, just trying to do their best to just alleviate some of that pressure. I mean, like you said, that's really all they can do at this point. I mean, they had a little mini rush there where they had a little bit of a look there off that turnover, but really don't have anything going right now. It's pretty much all Vipers to this point.
Roach throws it off the glass. It's kept alive at the point for Knoblau, who sends it to the corner for Keegan McComb. He will be poke checked there. Hayden Scott comes down to play it. That one rolls into the arm of Copeland, but it's kept alive. Here's Knoblau with the aggressive play, and it's stolen. And now here comes Juarez in the zone on the break. He's got Reisner. Shot, scores off the iron and in.
The Vipers during this little sequence here throughout the period, part of what's helped them keep so much pressure on is because their defense has been so aggressive. You saw it there at the beginning of the replay with Hayden Scott pinching down, and then he's caught low. Knobel pinches there, and it just leaves no one home to cover Juarez, who's coming down through the middle. And one of the Vipers coaches is just fuming right now. But that aggressiveness there bites them, and now it's 5-1. And that just makes the situation even worse with only 7.5 minutes to go, needing 4 goals.
7:29 here in the third period. It's 5-1 Spartans. Now coming into the zone, here's Brown. That's stolen by McKinley. And that one's sent in the zone. Looks like it was Kuharski who was a little bit frustrated on the play, which can be understandable at this rate.
Looked like he broke his stick there. That must have been a loud sound on the wall.
It's Eisenbarger on another break. He's taken down by DeGroot. That one rolls on net, and it's covered by Zemansky. That one almost taking a bad bounce on Geyser. As he tried to cover it, it kind of tipped his stick a little bit, rolled towards his pad, and he had to readjust to cover it.
Yeah, and that's just kind of how it's going for the Vipers right now. I mean, outside of the 2 Homestead goals, they pretty much had the puck this entire period, and just little lapses and that kind of thing happens.
Off the draw, it is going to be Scholler with possession. Backhand to the high slot. Here's Ramos' backhand, and it goes wide. Jeanette, he's ran into hard by Brown. Now it's Johnson at the point. He's pressured by Ian Scott. Delayed offsides for the Spartans, so Zemansky will have an opportunity to take a look. And now it's into the zone for Reichert, stolen by McKinnon. Tied up along the far boards towards the hash marks. And eventually is finally going to be worked free. As it is poke checked out of the zone by Ramos. There's Ian Scott inside the zone, as now is backhanded back in by Jeanette. Here is DeGroot. DeGroot flips it down the ice looking for McKinnon. He finds Trevor McKinnon, stolen by Reichert, but McKinnon gets it back. McKinnon shot, and it goes above the net and wide. Play whistled down as the net was knocked off as one of the Spartan players coming back loses an edge and goes careening into the net. It was Johnson, looks like. 5:59 here in the third, 5-1 Spartans.
Nice little idea there by the Vipers with that long flip play. That worked once for us last year on the Panthers. I think it was Hayden Scott that flipped that one up to Keegan McComb at the time. Ended up working. It was pretty nasty for a goal, but, you know, I mean, you just got to pull out all the stops in this one. At that point, I mean, you got to pull a little riskier play like that.
Translation on that thing is nasty in hockey terms means a very good play. And now it is going to be, looks like Juarez, another stretch pass to Besh, another penalty coming up to the Vipers. Geyser pokes it away, play whistle down. McComb is going to go to the box for roughing. Now, as we mentioned earlier, they've built a lot of chemistry, obviously, with winning games. This is where you need to come together, because now you're facing some strong adversity, which the Vipers have not seen yet. So now they got to come together and focus on what they can take away from this game, what they did good and what they did bad, to kind of rebound next week.
Yeah, certainly probably a very frustrating loss here. I'm definitely sure this is not at all what they expected. And while they have lost twice before, this is not like either of those. It's been a pretty thorough beatdown scoreboard-wise, where the other two have just been one-goal games.
Marks fans on the pass at the point is poke checked out of the zone by Ormsby, but losing an edge was Ormsby, so it is back the other way for the Spartans, but Ormsby will actually intercept a bad pass. He puts it back in the zone. Copeland leaving it for Marks. Here's Reisner. Reisner backhand, and it's wide. Here come the Spartans the other way. Here's Nicole into the zone. Nicole for Ramos. Now it's to the boards. Bouncing puck goes over the stick of Ormsby, as Ramos and Ormsby still fight for it. Penalty coming up to the Vipers. Here's Juarez sending it to Ramos. It's poke check there by Geyser. And now a 5-on-3 power play coming to the Spartans.
Yeah, Ormsby kind of got his stick there with a little cross check to bring down that Homestead player. Kind of a weak call. It didn't look like it was a huge deal in bringing the player down, but I will say one thing about the Vipers. While they might be down 4 tonight and really don't have a chance to win anymore, it seems like, it's certainly not a lack of effort or passion. They're still battling and working, or at least most of them are. And I think that shows a good thing about their culture and how they'll handle this loss, is that they're not giving up and they're staying in the fight.
Another shot by Juarez goes wide. Now it's along the near side. Now drop behind the net from Marks. Marks out to the point for Jeanette. Yeah, shot that's into the glove of Yeiser, and Yeiser will hang on. .46 seconds remaining in the power play for the penalty to number 4 of the Vipers. That was Keegan McComb, so 46 seconds on his penalty. A minute 43 remaining in the penalty to Ormsby. Marks. Bad pass there as it goes out to the point. Reichert keeps it alive. He'll bang it off the boards to Juarez. Juarez cross ice pass to Marks, and it goes into the feet. And now here's Marks again. Now shot safe. Rebound it is. Quick whistle. It was loose in the crease. Goaltender did not have it covered. However, the official lost sight of the puck. And that's kind of what saved the Vipers on that one.
Yeah, that's tough for Homestead. I mean, that puck was right out in the crease. It didn't look like Yeiser had any idea where it was. They were ready to just pounce on that one, make it 6-1.
Off the draw, Ramos wins it. Now out to the near boards for Juarez. He's trying to chip it back down low behind the net to Ramos. Brown knocks it away, as here is Marks. Marks back to Ramos. Ramos to Juarez, a shot, saved by Yeiser, and Yeiser hangs on. As Juarez tries to mimic Ovechkin on that one.
Yeah, Homestead doing a good job of moving the puck across the ice, trying to keep the Vipers off balance. Yeiser did a good job getting over there, make that stop.
Juarez has it now. Along the near side corner, out to the point. Here's Reichert. Back to Juarez. To Marks. Marks a shot, save. Rebound by Marks again is blocked in front. And now Brown's going the other way. Brown gets inside the zone. Brown with the backhand centering attempt is blocked. And he gets it right back, but poke checked away. As now it is going to be a stretch pass for Reichert. Reichert with it now. Goes back to Juarez. Juarez pokes inside the Viper end. He's grabbed by McKinley. McKinley going to take his time up the ice. And he goes to the near side. Poke checked by Besh. McComb has it. Now here's McKinley. Stolen. Looks like by Doherty. Here's Jeanette. And the Vipers will return to full strength. And now here's Hayden Scott with the intercept. Delayed offsides. And play whistled down. 2:49 remaining here in the third period, with a 5-1 lead for the Spartans over the Vipers.
That was a pretty good penalty kill there by the Vipers, and especially there at the end of that. They had the puck down in the Homestead end for a little bit of it, at least making sure that they're not going to get scored on again in that sequence there. And certainly not giving up like I was mentioning earlier. Still fighting, trying to at least make this score a little bit better for them.
Off the draw here is going to be Johnson. Along the corner, he's just going to tie it up along the boards, trying to kill time. Zemansky's in for the Vipers, as well as Ian Scott. Coming away, there will be McKinnon. McKinnon out to Hayden Scott. That shot is blocked by Jeanette. Now unrolls into the neutral end. Now to the Viper zone for Hayden Scott to pick it up. He banks off the boards. Johnson plays it. He'll throw it back towards the far side corner. Regroup with it now. Banks it off the boards, and it's put right back in by Elliot Doherty. As here is Hayden Scott. Hayden Scott, stretch pass. Another intercept by Doherty. Jeanette trying to get it back in. That's off the shin pad of the group. And will play with the high stick. However, the Vipers touch it, so that will not be called. So here is the group inside the zone. That one's played down low. Now to the far corner for Zemansky. He's tied up with Doherty. Along the Zamboni doors. Coming away with it along the far side. Puck still pretty much along the boards. Now it's into the high slot. A shot by Lehman goes wide. Now here's Besh off the boards. As that's intercepted by DeGroot. It is going to be Trevor McKinnon going the other way. It's picked off by the Spartans. As now here is DeGroot. Final minute of play here in the third period. Pass to Layman's. Not completed as he was looking the other direction. So here's Besh. Besh. Shot. It's off the back of the net. And now played by Bushel. Now here's Roach. Roach flips it towards the zone. DeGroot with it now. Asiala with it in the defensive end. Coming away with it is going to be Asiala once again as it was piloted back in the zone. And now a stretch pass for Roach. It rolls towards the net. Play whistle down for the icing. With 27 seconds left here in the third period, it's 5-1 Spartans. Face-off inside of the Spartan end. It is going to be to the left of the goaltender, Copeland. Face-off won by Reasoner. Shot is off the tip of the glove of Copeland. Bushel, another chance. Tipped in front. It rolls towards the net. He scores! Reasoner with the goal, and it's 5-2.
Little redirection play here. Cameras roll off, can't really see it. But here you go. Puck comes up to the top. Reasoner gets in the lane. That's McKinley, excuse me. Knocks it down. Copeland's caught sliding over, and it's pretty easy tap in there for Reasoner.
So with 15 seconds on the clock, it is inside the neutral zone. Bushel will shoot it towards the end, but it's knocked down by his own defenseman. And now is going to be the Vipers going the other way with 2 seconds left. Reasoner gets around the fence, and one more backhand. It goes wide, and the game is over. Homestead knocking off the Vipers to continue their perfect season, 5-2.
Just an all-around solid effort there on the goal-scoring front for Homestead. Just without their two best players, they probably knew that they weren't going to have the puck as much as they normally would, but still found a way to make their chances count, put 5 in the net. The Vipers, I mean, obviously not the result that you were hoping for tonight coming off the last game. But, you know, I think they just got to try and put this one in the back of their minds. And, you know, they did do some things right. They had the puck for a lot of the game. They continued to play hard the entire game down to the final buzzer. I think those are the kinds of things that you look back on and be like, yeah, we might have lost pretty bad on the scoreboard. But, you know, we probably deserved a better fate tonight. And, you know, I think that's just what they got to refocus on and get ready here for their next game next week against Leo.
So it is the Spartans improving to 6-0 on the season. Before we go, we'll take a look at next week's games. It will be Carroll and Homestead up first at 6:40, and then it will be the Leo Lions and the Fort Wayne Vipers at 8:40. Up next on the slate is the Carroll Chargers and Leo Lions. We hope you will join us in that stream. We thank you for tuning in here on SummitCitySports.com, and we hope to see you again very soon.